This video you're watching is part of the simulation to keep you in the Matrix. Wake up, wake up. Now that I have your attention, let me tell you about myself. I am a very, very lazy and complicated person. I struggle with consistency. I struggle with passion. But then I see my friend Faisal. He took it upon himself to write a poem every single day. He even got to read some of them on stage. This started as a challenge and flourished more with his passion. I feel inspired by that, so I'm going to try and make a video at least once a week. With all that out of the way, roll the intro.
Welcome to the Friday Drag. I miss my wife.
Get it? Cause Fridays are a drag. Anyway, it's me, JB. Welcome to Friday Drag, a show where I talk about recent miscellaneous pieces of media as well as interact with the community. Starting with the Harry Potter show. Now let me be clear on something. I am not transphobic and I fucking hate J.K. Rowling. But I have a soft spot for Harry Potter. I had the movies growing up. In fact, I still had the DVD with me right now, and I still have the books. I've contemplated burning them because, you know, J.K. Rowling's a dick and everything, but the truth is, I really care about this franchise. And no matter how many times I try, I can't uncare. I felt ostracized growing up. I felt like I was a little too extra or a little too much, and I didn't have a lot of friends. And so the story about a boy who's different and doesn't really fit in really resonated with me. And I'm sure it resonated with a lot of queer and neurodivergent people. It's like being in a toxic relationship, you know? They'll beat the shit out of you, but then they'll come and then they'll kiss your bruises and then they'll make you feel all snuggly wuggly. I mean, I guess it checks out. The author is an alcoholic. But just let it be known that when I talk about any of this, I'm not talking to give it exposure or to support J.K. Rowling in any way. I fucking hate that bitch, but I like Harry Potter. I'm gonna pirate the show when it comes out, and I recommend everyone does the same if they want to watch it. With that out of the way, let me talk about the trailer. I actually really enjoyed the trailer. I know there's a lot of people who are angry about Professor Snape's actor, being black. I kind of find it baffling because no one really batted an eye when they did the same thing in The Batman with Jim Gordon. I'm kind of happy they're getting diverse with it. The new guy has a lot to live up to since, Alan Rickman was the last actor. I've heard people say that it looks a lot like the movies, and yeah, it's true. It looks a little bit like the movies, and I feel like that's in part because it's live action. I haven't seen much of it, but the set design looks a lot weaker than it did in the movies. But again, I haven't seen much of it. All I have to say is that I like the color grading and the cast looks alright. However, since Ben Shapiro doesn't seem to hate it, I think it might actually be so fucking awful. Next on the things to talk about, Spider-Man Brand New Day looks amazing. I am super excited for this movie. I can't wait to see this movie. My running theory on this is that they're gonna adapt some of the Spider Totem stuff, which I am not the biggest fan of, but if done right, I think this could be really cool. I can't wait to see Spider-Man and Punisher and the Hulk all in one movie. And I can't wait to see Lobo! I am super excited for Supergirl as well. Oh my god, man. I don't know, I really like the concept of washed up superhero, like Logan, for example. I really enjoyed that movie. I'm super excited to see Crypto again. I really loved Crypto. And I freaking love space adventures, so I'm excited for the Space Odyssey. Rick and Morty is getting a new season that's coming out, and I don't give a shit anymore. Hoppers is a movie that Disney made. I haven't watched it, but if you ever go to the theaters, I recommend you go see Bride instead. I haven't seen Bride either, but that's the movie I'd pick. One movie I really wanted to see was Iron Lung, but it didn't come out in my country. They just didn't put it out, and I got really upset at that. I get that it's mostly like an America and Europe thing, but I didn't get to see it, and I've been looking forward to this movie for a while, and I keep looking it up. Is it out on streaming yet? Is it out on streaming yet? And it's not. I'm so fucking pissed, man. Just give it an international release already. Speaking of releases, Stale Ball Run. You have got to be kidding me. I genuinely thought the second episode was gonna release on the day I'm recording this, on Friday, but they didn't. I thought they were bringing back JoJo Friday, but they didn't. And they're not giving it a release release date. They don't know when this is releasing. What the fuck? I'm a pretty big Steel Ball Run fan. I really like Steel Ball Run. I mean, one of my older videos is me trying to do a fan dub of Steel Ball Run. So I really hope they do this anime justice. This is genuinely one of the best pieces of fiction ever, in my opinion. Maybe like plan for things before releasing it, Netflix? I don't know. I really enjoyed the first episode. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think everyone should watch it. Everyone should keep up with this as it releases sometime, whenever. And yes, I'm gonna be one of the people who says you don't gotta, you know, have seen any of the previous JoJo parts to get this one. This is a fresh start, and I think everyone should see it, regardless if you've seen the other ones or not. And I think that if you enjoyed it, maybe you should watch the other stuff or read the other stuff, you know, whatever you want to do, because a lot of people are gatekeeping it, like, oh no, the LARPers. Man, grow up. Yes, you get a lot more out of it by understanding the bigger world of JoJo, but each part is its own individual story. I see some people genuinely treating JoJo like it's a fucking Bible. I get it, it's your whole personality, but please let people enjoy things. I've also been watching Invincible Season 4. It's been pretty good so far. Yes, the animation quality is not the best, but the story, oh boy, the story. Man, fuck you, Amazon. I really love Omni-Man and Alan. I think those two characters are genuinely my favorite part of the show, and I hope I get to see so much more of them in the following episodes. I like the episode where Mark goes to hell. That one was funny. I feel like this season overall has a lot more humor in it, and it's just really funny. I really like this season. And I hate like being like, oh well, I read the comics, but yeah, I did read the comics, and honestly, this feels so much better. Like, they replace a genuinely disgusting piece of dialogue with something that ties more into the story. I really like that. They're genuinely revamping the entire comic storyline, and I couldn't be happier. I highly recommend everyone check out Invincible. It is a good-ass show. Next on the agenda, The Amazing Digital Circus. When this show came out, I genuinely did not expect it to get as big as it did. It's a web show by Glitch. I really didn't think it was gonna get this big. Now everyone and their grandmothers knows who fucking Pomni is. But the real question is, should you watch it? Is it actually a good show? Yeah, it's pretty good. I genuinely feel like you should watch this show right now before the last episode comes out. It's one of those experiences that you kind of form a community around because theories go crazy. Everyone keeps talking about, oh, I think this, I think that. Everyone goes rewatches the episodes and notices things they didn't see before. Like, remember that era of YouTube where everyone was just talking a lot about don't hug me, I'm scared, and salad fingers and all the symbolism and what it could mean? This is currently that right now with the Digital Circus. I'm gonna admit that the show is kind of getting a little too big for its own good. I mean, the fandom is getting a little more insufferable with each day, but I hope you don't let that stop you from watching the show. It's only 8 episodes long right now, and it's gonna be 9 episodes in total. This is a message to my best friend. Watch it. My best friend's been refusing to watch this show. I don't know why, but please watch it. I really like this show. I think it's so brilliant, and I really love its characters, and I think you should watch it. And if you folks have seen any of the things I'm talking about, leave a comment, talk about it. Have a little conversation down there, I'll join you. Lastly, another thing I've seen was Ted Season 2. This is something I'm genuinely really sad is never gonna continue. I mean, technically, yes, there is the movies, but they're not as fun as the show. Much like the first season, this season was hilarious. I did not expect them to deepfake Bill Clinton, but you know, there is that. I really liked the D&D episode. That was probably my favorite episode. It was really funny, and every single episode of the show is really hilarious. There is no misses in the show. I loved all of it. Kind of underwhelmed with how they ended it though. Maybe it's my nostalgia from watching way too many sitcoms growing up, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or iCarly. You know, I remember all of their finales and how like somber they were. I thought they'd do something like a 2-parter, but they didn't really do any of that stuff. But it was funny, okay? That's what matters. It was really funny, and that's what matters. But man, I expected them to milk the show for like 3 more years, like 3 more seasons going on their entire high school life. I expected the ending to be like this big, I don't know, high school dance maybe, like they do that. So no, they just time skip to their graduation, and then at some point John gets a job. I know Peacock's not like the biggest streaming service, which is why they didn't really get enough return on investment. And this is kind of like an interesting situation because like the TV show is now much bigger than the movies. It's much better than the movies. Everyone loves the TV show. And this isn't like the first franchise to do it. Freaking Back to the Future has done it. Friday the 13th, Scream, Blade for some reason has done this. Fucking Bill and Ted has done this. But they've never succeeded. Hell, I doubt anyone watching this has any idea that these shows even existed, that they're kind of lost into obscurity. But Ted managed to break that trend and surpass his predecessors. I'm gonna miss this show dearly, but I'm happy that we even got it in the first place. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it, maybe put it on in the background when I'm doing anything, because it's really that good. Okay, now I'm gonna inform you on some stuff. Smiling Friends is ending, and the fans are going schizo, talking about, oh, there's gonna be a movie, and honestly, I'm kind of with them. If it was any other show, I would be like, oh, there's Schizo maxing, oh, there's Stranger Things maxing, you know, stuff like that. But because it's Smiling Friends, because it's Michael Cusack and Zach Hadel, I genuinely can see this being a whole lead up to a movie reveal on April 1st. There's a whole compilations of Zach Hadel gaslighting on Oni Plays. Like, imagine if Michael Cusack and Zach Hadel show the movie, but they never acknowledge that the movie even exists, and they're like, oh no, Smiling Friends just ended. Like, that is something I can picture these assholes doing. Yeah, but that's that. Maybe we still have one more friend to make smile. Who knows? Speaking of endings, the Chainsaw Man ending. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say themes and such. Don't worry, I'm gonna go in length later. Not this video though, not this video. Lastly, I wanted to talk about a Sonic leak because I really like Sonic and this has been all over my feed. Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition has been leaked. Now, I'm not happy with this. Fans were hoping for a Sonic Unleashed Definitive Edition or I don't know, anything else. But this genuinely feels like it's Sega biting the hand that feeds them at this point. Like, we already had a deluxe edition, now we're getting a definitive edition. Now listen, there is one thing that could excuse this. This one specific thing that some people are theorizing might happen, and that is it's gonna have a Shadow expansion pack. I'm not just talking like small DLC, I'm talking like full-on story mode and everything. And people are theorizing this because Chronos Island did appear in Sonic X Shadow Generations. My thoughts is, I'm not sure I like that. I would have been happier if it was like its own game or something. Like, you know how GTA Vice City originally started as DLC for GTA 3, but then just became its own thing? I think if it's gonna be as big of an expansion as people think, they should just make it its own game. Because if they're not gonna do that, then I feel like this is just an excuse for Sega to make the people buy the game again. But hey, I'm not trying to assume anything so quickly before anything's confirmed. I'm gonna have faith in my goats and hope they pull through. Alright, so this is the part of the video where I go over the community, and the last comment I got in my video was on my AI is bullshit video, and it's like, dude, you said AI is retarded, I'm sorry, you're very... And he kept using the same fucking emoji, and it's like, it's so fucking retarded. Going on talking about biological super weapons, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, I feel like that is why AI is bullshit in the first place. And that is completely ignoring the environmental harm. I don't know what the fuck was the point of this comment, because it just further cemented my point that AI is bullshit. This was mostly me just getting angry over the RAM prices and shit. And I'm mostly peeved about generative AI, but yeah, all of that shit's also really bad. Who does this bitch think he is with this fucking superiority complex calling my brain too weak? Fuck you, man. Eat a dick with that fucking emoji, asshole. Have fun with that boot up your ass, toe fucker. Sorry, I just hate when I smell privilege. Leave comments down below, let's talk. I want to be a community guy. Let me know if you're into any of the stuff I just mentioned, you know, talk about it, or talk about yourself and how your day was. Let me just a little check in. I personally am doing pretty okay, playing a bunch of Sonic games while missiles go off, but you know, I'm doing pretty good. Let me know if you want to see me stream some more, what games would you like me to play, stuff like that. And as always, take it easy, Joel Troopers. Thank you for catching me. Sayonara.
End up fanny.